Hey everyone, today I am somewhere in Lycoming County. I'm assuming that it is Trout Run, Pennsylvania, because we are in Trout Run Park. So the goal I had in mind today, I was going to check out Rock Run. And if you watch my videos, I was there, I want to say last summer, but it may not have been the summer that just passed, but the summer prior to that. God, time moves so fast. But anyway, I wanted to see if the run was frozen over, because it's been a bitterly cold winter so far. But the road that takes you up to the top of Rock Run was not plowed, so I don't have a four-wheel drive car at this point, so I did not want a chance getting stuck. But I still wanted to get out and take a nature walk today, and it's like 44 degrees, which is awesome. As you can see, the snow is starting to melt. It's soft again. So I saw this park when I was driving along what I believe is Route 15, and I thought I would check it out. So this sign just talks a little bit about the lumber heritage region, which is roughly 2 million acres of public lands that give both wildlife and humans room to roam, otherwise referred to as the Pennsylvania Wilds. And we just have a couple interesting pictures here. This is Bellefonte, or Bellefonte? I guess Bellefonte or Bellefonte, historic district. And then over here in this picture, this is a town, Cross Fork, which must have been pretty big during the lumber industry, but by 1920, the site was a ghost town. So we're probably going to hear some traffic noise as we're wandering around this park, but that's okay. It's actually a really beautiful day. That's a nice picture of the nice scenic mountains, and the sky is a beautiful shade of blue today. As I mentioned, it's over 40 degrees, and it's been so cold this winter. It feels like springtime. So I'm not really sure what we're gonna see here, but I thought it might be interesting because over in that direction, there is a creek. Not sure what creek it is, but I thought that might be interesting to check out. All right, so that answers one of my questions. We are actually in Lewis Township. Now, Tony's with me today, but I have no idea where he got to. So that sign right there tells us there is a fishing pier. So there's definitely a creek. How interesting it's going to be, I don't know that yet. But it's been so difficult to find time to get out and do videos that I just thought, I want to try to at least do a video. And the thing is, if you take your camera with you and you do a video, if it's not interesting at all, you don't have to post it. So that's what we're doing today. And there he is. There's Tony.
Ah.
Did you see anything?
Yeah,
did you head down to the creek?
There's a fishing dock up here. You can walk down to the creek.
So Tony was just mentioning there is a fishing creek down here. He was already there, and he said, a fishing what?
Dock.
A fishing dock. I guess all creeks could be fishing creeks, right? Maybe. Anyway, so there is a fishing dock down here, and had we come here yesterday, I have no doubt that it was totally frozen over. But everything's melting. This is wonderful, Tony.
Oh, yeah.
It feels like it's mid-40s now, I'd say. All right, so we are headed down to the creek. What creek is this, Tony?
Lycoming.
The Lycoming Creek. So as you can see, we have ice here, but I'm thinking that is thin ice.
Yeah, look.
You don't want to try to cross that.
I don't think
And you can see the water moving over here. So I guess this is the fishing dock.
Yeah.
All right, Tony said the ice is solid over there. I would say I'm kind of adventurous, and maybe I take more chances than I should, especially at my age. But I'm horrified at the thought of falling through thin ice. That would not be a good way to go. Not that I can think of too many good ways to go, but you know, it's hard to tell where the creek starts and where the bank is.
Yeah, don't step on the ice, it's really slippery.
Yeah, well, it's slippery, but the water's probably really shallow in this part of the creek, I would think. In fact, I don't even know how dangerous any of this would be, but again, I'm not going to take that chance. Plus, even if it really wasn't all that dangerous, I really don't want my legs getting wet. But I gotta tell you, folks, it feels amazing out here today. And it's probably, you know, it's probably only like 43, 44 degrees. In fact, Tony doesn't even think it's that warm, but it feels wonderful. It's kind of beautiful, Tone. Kind of
Yeah, and I think
beautiful.
where the snow is, it insulates the ice too, so it's more solid.
All right, I think what you should do is jump up and down on it and see what happens.
It's solid as heck here.
Yeah, it is.
But then, see, when you can see through it, you know it's not very bad.
Earlier, I was saying that I don't think we've been above freezing for over a month.
No.
Does that sound
Probably not.
pretty
Not
realistic?
till the last day or so. Yeah, probably not till the last day or so.
And I didn't do a video yesterday, but I drove by the Susquehanna River, and that looked totally frozen still. I think so, Tony. Tony was asking if that's a little island right there. I think so. That almost looks like the creek goes to the right and to the left. So this side is
Slow.
absolutely... No, I'm saying this side is frozen. That side is flowing pretty well now. As I mentioned before, I really wanted to check out Rock Run, which I'm thinking it's totally flowing at this point today, but I was just curious if that totally freezes over. I'm going to assume that it does. But if you've ever been to Rock Run, it moves like really fast. So I'm thinking fast running waters, I guess it freezes over, but it's got to be really cold for a long period of time for that to happen. All right, Tony is pointing something out.
Crack. Like all the way down.
What's that?
That big crack right there, and then it goes all
Oh, yeah.
down there. That's gonna
So
fall in.
he's talking about, it's like
Crack.
that. Not sure if that's coming up on the camera, but there's a pretty deep crack starting. So I'm thinking by the end of today, this is going to be a lot wider.
Oh,
Because it's only, what time is it, maybe? 11 o'clock, maybe?
maybe.
Maybe 11 o'clock.
But this probably was froze across, and then when it opened up, that weight of that caused that to go down and crack.
You're probably right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this is going to be really slippery, but I do want to make my way over to this little island. Why do I want to make it over to that little island? Well, why not, right? Okay, so I've made it to what appears to be an island. And I gotta wonder, what are these prints? I mean, they're huge. To me, that looks like it would be bear prints, but right, bears are no longer, but bears are hibernating, correct? I know. I've asked this question in a lot of videos, but I've heard different stories. Bears are not all hibernating in the winter, according to what I was recently reading. I imagine that water is pretty cold. So Tony just dared me to jump from here to there, and he will film it. I don't think I'm going to do it. Now listen, that would not be that difficult to do, and it's not dangerous, but you got to do more than just say you'll film it. I mean, what do I get if I do it?
Look, there you only have to jump like a foot.
Yeah, that's not a far jump, but the problem is, Tony, first of all, you can't get a running start. Why am I even considering this or discussing it? But you can't get a running start because it's slip. So still, even with that being the point, I feel there is a spot I could easily do it. But when I jump to the other side, I'll fall right on my butt and I'll slip back
into the water.
Into the water. So I don't think that's going to happen today, people. But I'm going to say it again, Tony. This is beautiful.
Yep.
And we're only about 5 weeks away from spring. Daylight savings is when, did you say?
8th.
March 8th. And today is February 13th, I
The
believe.
water underneath the clear ice there, that's kind of cool. I don't know if your camera will pick that up.
Probably not, but Tony is just talking about how it looks really cool. You can see the water running under the ice on that side. But you know what I can do? I can hang it down on this side to look at it. So that's just a view. Hopefully you can see the water running under the ice. I was asking Tony what this was on the dead.
It's just a fungus.
I said, it looks like lichens. And I said, do lichens grow on trees? And Tony said, no. It's just some type of fungus. So there's a fungus among us.
I don't think lichens is a fungus.
I don't know. I don't know that much about lichens, Tony. But I'm going to do some research on it. All right, so Tony and I are trying to figure out
It says dry
what
hydrant.
this is. All right, he's telling me it's a dry hydrant.
So a fire truck probably hooks their hose up, and then if they need to use a hose,
Well, where would the water come from?
the fire truck, like a tanker. A tanker truck.
Yeah, I'm still not really understanding why.
Well, they say
Okay.
need to put out a fire. Yeah.
The things I find interesting. So a dry hydrant. Anyone knows how this is used? Leave it in the comments. All right, now we are headed to Rose Valley Lake. Tony wants to see if it's frozen over. But he had mentioned this road that we're on right now, they used to, what did they used to do here,
Do
Tony?
hill climbs.
Hill climbs.
With
So
cars.
this was a tradition
Are they?
with cars, and they probably did it for a long time.
They ever did it.
The last time they did it was in 2016. But you can see this is a pretty crazy road.
Look at the old wall.
Yeah, look at the old stonework, Tony.
Yeah.
You should get out and check it out. So on our way to Rose Valley Lake, I pulled over because I just thought this old church was kind of beautiful. The Rose Valley Methodist Church. When I think about old rural churches, this is pretty much what I picture. So I would love to tell you how old this church is. But we're really in a remote area and I don't have any internet here on my phone, so I can't do a quick Google. But maybe we'll find something that tells us when this was built. But this is beautiful country out here. So peaceful and quiet. Just looking up at that old bell tower. It's also kind of cool. You can see they have modern windows, but behind that is the old stained glass window. And obviously the siding is not from the 19th century or even early 20th century. But I'm thinking this is a pretty old church. And whenever I'm doing these random videos where I don't do any research, I just see something on the side of the road, I'm always kind of counting on you, the viewer, to kind of give me a little info if you're familiar with the place. So there is a little cemetery out back. Just looking from here, nothing looks all that old, but sometimes you got to kind of walk into the cemetery to find some of the older headstones. So yes, folks, this is a very random video. I gotta tell you, it's been really hard making videos lately because of the shorter days and the frigid temperatures. And I really try hard to put out at least one video a week. So bear with me, folks. The videos are gonna get better. I will have more planned excursions. But you know, there's something kind of cool about just randomly exploring as well, because you never really know what you're gonna find. So some of these look old. This one right here absolutely looks like it's got some years behind it. Again, very difficult to read, but as I say in all my videos quite often, once I download the video, I can read it. This one, John, son of J. H. Sticer, 1926 to 1930. Wow, 13 years old. Very sad. What's interesting about these are all unmarked. And it's not that it's just worn off, at least I don't think so. Yeah, it might. I guess it possibly could be, but they seem to be unmarked. So I don't know, maybe there's a reason. And there's just another view from the back, and you can, if you look closely, see the bell up in the tower. So I don't think we're going to find any Revolutionary War vets here, or it doesn't appear as if there are any. Here we have a Civil War veteran, 1861 to 1865. David Brotzman, 67th Pennsylvania Infantry. All right, so we're gonna head over to Rose Valley Lake now. So I was driving out of here and I saw this in the tree, and I just think this is really cool. I'm hoping it doesn't move because all I have is my GoPro, but can you see that? There's a possum in that tree. You see that? I think that's a possum, right? The possum is playing possum. All right, we'll leave the possum alone. She's probably scared. But I just thought that was kind of cool, so I pulled over and got a quick piece of video. All right, so we made it to Rose Valley Lake, and I do want to tell you, it appears to be frozen. Is the ice safe? All right, here we go. As I am walking away from the fishing deck. There's Tony. All right, so it's pretty safe out here.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a lot of people.
Yeah, there's some spots that don't look real safe. It could just be the way the snow blew.
Yeah,
That
with my luck, right?
It drifts along. I'm just kind of walking where people look like they walk.
Yeah. How deep is this lake?
Deep in the middle.
How
I'd
deep
say.
is this lake?
I said where it's.
I think if we were to go in, we'd be in trouble.
I think you're supposed to have a life jacket, even on the ice, according to what it sounds.
Yeah, well that would make sense.
Yeah.
We do not have life jackets, but I do see a whole lot of people out here. And the funny thing is, there's a bunch of people over here ice fishing. And then there's a whole lot of people over here ice fishing. And if you watch my videos, you might remember, I guess it was like a couple weeks ago, I was down Peace Valley Park. And that's the first time I ever saw anyone ice fishing. So yeah, I grew up in the city. And that's pretty obvious. Yeah.
That looks like a crack.
All right, Tony's seeing little cracks. No, you know what that is, Tony? I think, and I could be wrong, I think somebody had a snowmobile down here. See this? Doesn't that look like a snowmobile?
No, I think they have sleds.
Or sleds.
They haul their stuff with a little sled.
Well, that makes sense.
But that looks like a crack.
I'm just pointing out little spots that look like cracks, which is scaring the heck out of me.
I think that is a crack. If you do that, you can see, look, it is a crack.
Now jump up and down.
It's pretty thick.
Don't. Please don't.
It's pretty thick.
Yeah, don't scare
That's
me.
good.
Well, somebody had, this looks like a bicycle, right?
Yeah.
Somebody was riding their bike out here.
Yeah, I think they did.
This is a crazy feeling, people, because as I said, I'm
never
kind
walked
of,
them, like-
this is like a nightmare to me. I'm taking like little steps. As if taking little steps would make a difference. We are pretty far away from the dock now, so this is kind of scary for me. But there's so many people out here. I know it's safe. I wouldn't do anything crazy. I almost hear somebody with a chainsaw. Do you think, is that how they cut the ice?
Have an auger, yeah.
An auger?
Yes.
What the heck is an auger?
It drills a hole. It's like a drill.
Well, there you go.
To
We
drill.
learned something new.
You might have a gas-powered auger.
This is the word of the day, an auger. So I'm gonna have to look that up. But okay, so that would be like a drill that would drill down into
I don't know
the
how
ice.
big the hole. Yeah, it's probably what, 10 inches.
So if somebody's drilling into the ice, you gotta
It's just
think
a
it's
big-
safe, right?
It's a big drill bit on a gas, like a gasoline-powered thing.
Yeah, I don't think there's any danger here. So I'm kind of being overly dramatic, people, but you know, I think I'm quite adventurous at times, but this is something that scares me,
And this stuff, I think, is just from
especially
drifting.
as I get further out.
This is from drifting, I think. Like the snow drifting across here. It's all open. You can just see it. Like drifts across here.
Yep. Yeah, I think you're probably safer where the snow is, right? Because then the sun is hitting the ice directly
that's
there.
actually softening that up. But here, like I said, it's starting to crack.
All right,
That's
it's
crack.
starting to crack.
I mean, it might have cracked before.
Yeah, I don't think it's ready to go. But I got to tell you, this is just a very scary feeling for me as I walk on this.
There's a big crack.
So this is a new experience for me. I've never
You could
walked
ask one of
onto a
people
lake
how-
like this. I've always been kind of scared, no matter how thick the ice was.
You could ask.
Call me crazy, but that
Looks pretty.
looks scary.
It
See
does.
how it's melting right there. So I think I
Would stay off of that.
might turn back.
Yeah, we can go back. It's not. You're not gonna see.
Even though there's a whole lot of people out there ice fishing.
Probably because it's bare, starting to melt.
That right there scares the heck out of me. So guess what, Tony?
What?
I'm walking back. I am done. And I don't really know how interesting this is anyway. But this is Rose Valley Lake. If you're from the area, you will recognize where I am. And this is all frozen over. Pretty, pretty cool. And I think that spot we saw, Tony, where it looked like it was starting to melt, is going to be more and more common. I don't think I would stay out here very long today. But I guess those guys that are fishing out there, they know what they're doing. But as you mentioned, they probably have safety vests on.
I think it's...
You're supposed to, and
That looks like
we don't have them.
Yeah, see, that's all. Yeah. On top, it's melting where the snow isn't. I think even under the snow, see, it's not as green. Where it's
Okay, so I think I'm going to end my video here, right here in the middle of Rose Valley Lake. Thank you so much for joining me. If you could give it a like, it would be greatly appreciated. If you haven't already subscribed, please consider doing so, and I will see you in the next video. Thank you so much, and you have a wonderful day. Tony's still pointing out the cracks.